Hello everyone, my name is Joel. This is the lovely Kaylee.
Hello.
And this is another sharing of the Way of Compassionate Autonomy. It is a real G.E.M portal, which is a radiant, embodied activation, light, galactic earth, M to the infinite, which can be anything, like a miracle. Today is a message. The portal is the protective orb of release, transformation, alignment, and liberation into E.T.S, which is
Enter the sun
of U.F.O,
Unity&Freedom, oneness.
Yeah. Which is the light of everlasting
Happiness, love, and harmony.
Yay. The mind of happiness, the heart of love, and the output or body of harmony. So, we are happy to share this transmission. First, we will begin with our prayer and oath of unity and freedom. My life is my precious gift to experience the grace of God that is eternal mercy and redemption for all. With humility, forgiveness, compassion, and gratitude, I live fully aligned with the will of God that is perfect love, happily balanced and whole in peace and harmony with loving kindness from my heart. All I receive and all I give is for mutual empowerment, interdependence, and selflessness for the betterment of all, in heaven, on earth, and in all realms. All thanks, all praise, all glory to God, the one love. I am safe. Here is the cross of safety. I am free. There's the infinite pulse, the eagle. I am loved, the heart of love, and it pulses. I am happy. In unity and freedom. Amen. So thank you. And speaking of the two keys, we have Matthew 16:18-20.
And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ.
Thank you so much. So why do we say that last part about not telling any man? Do you remember?
Because we don't believe that we are the Messiah or the person that is Jesus Christ. We don't believe in that.
What do we believe about what the Christ is? Is the Christ in every being?
Yeah, we believe that all people are Jesus the Christ.
Well, what does Christ mean to you? Like, what does that mean? Do you think that you're the Messiah? Or do you think I'm the Messiah? Or do you think we're waiting for a Messiah?
No.
What do you honestly think?
I think
what's in your heart, and what is your truth about that?
I think that Jesus Christ is just like a way of being, and it's just like loving people and caring for people. And I think that's within everyone.
Thank you. I would agree. So here we share this message that has been given and reflected back of the two keys of unity and freedom. It is the way of compassionate autonomy. It is a way to embody this love and compassion and kindness and care as Christ would, or the metaphor of Christ, or the being of Christ. Whether or not there was a man, I personally can't say yes or no. But linking all these different religions and philosophies, the bridge is the Christ spirit, which is love. And that is the balance of safety and freedom. And we're all capable of doing that. And those, to me, are the two keys of heaven on earth. Safety is from unity, overcomes imprisonment. Freedom is from freedom, it overcomes abandonment. And safety and freedom together create love. So, that's that. As far as the galactic calendar, today is Yellow Magnetic Warrior, kin 196. This calendar is basically a spiral that leads into you, into that pulse of love. And the most important thing in life is to just love and follow the way of compassionate autonomy or something like that, where you're just loving others and you're compassionate and then you're free. This calendar, ultimately, all the concepts of it describe the limitless. It's a radial spiral that goes in, and then you're liberated, and you'll see that everything around you is just different patterns of this message of harmony, and of the most important thing is to just love one another and to be happy and to be in harmony. This calendar comes from the overlay of 13 and 20. It goes back to all the ancient cultures. So many different cultures followed the moon, obviously, and they followed the pattern of the Mayans followed the pattern of the overlaying of the 13 tones and the 20 seals. And this is just like an extension of that, of many different cultures. And we're here to try to help bridge all different life paths, different philosophies, different races, all back to one place. That is love. That is, you can call it God. It has many names. It's the source of all of us. And we are here as individual expressions of that. So in the calendar, again, today we'll go over kin 196, Yellow Magnetic Warrior. It is the first day of the 16th wave spell, which is the Yellow Warrior wave spell. This is all about using intelligence to question with fearlessness. So we have the first tone, which is magnetic. It's the first tone of the 13-day wave spell. Yet we are in the 4th day of a 4-day harmonic. The first tone being magnetic. The power, action, and essence are unify, attract, and purpose. And the power, action, and essence of warrior are intelligence, question, and fearlessness. And if you put all those together, would you mind reading the affirmation for today, please?
I unify in order to question, attracting fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled.
Awesome. So do you remember what I am guided by my own power doubled means?
That the top thing, which is the guide, is the same as the middle thing.
Beautiful.
Which is the kin?
Yes, that is today's kin. Or
Okay.
today's seal, basically.
Okay, so the seal
The seal for
matches
today.
the guide.
Good, nice. Today we have an analog, which is, you remember what the analog is?
I wrote it down. It's the night.
Oh, nice, awesome. What are the qualities of the night, please?
Abundance, dream, and intuition.
Awesome. And then the occult, or the foundation, kind of like the hidden subconscious for today, is?
The serpent,
And what are those
which
qualities?
is life, force, survive, and instinct.
Awesome. And then we have the challenge, and which unlocks the hidden power for today, is what?
I'm guessing the challenge is the same as the antipode.
Yep.
Okay, it's the world bridger, which is death, equalize, and opportunity.
Beautiful. Thank you. So that is pretty awesome. And the warrior, once again, is all about utilizing intelligence to question fearlessly. So how do we question fearlessly? Once again, the way of compassionate autonomy. I am safe and I am free. It's all about questioning higher intelligence, questioning your heart, questioning your version of God, your higher self. And sometimes that process of awakening can be very difficult and challenging because you have to go through all these crazy thoughts or mind racing, and you want to be able to quiet the mind and receive clear information. This path will help. I am safe, I am free, I am loved, and ultimately I am happy. And a bunch of individual happy beings are in collective harmony. So today's Galactic Earth mission step for today, which is a Tone 1 magnetic day, is identify purpose. What is my goal? And once again, we are in the 4th day of the 4-day harmonic of the magnetic output, which is express intelligence of purpose. That's why, again, it's a yellow day. It is the ripening of this harmonic, which is the codon of synchronicity. Time concentrates cosmic awareness. In the I-Ching, it is fidelity. Now, synchronicity, time concentrates cosmic awareness. This is basically describing how, as we awaken, we realize that more and more and more our outside world is reflecting our internal state of being. That can become very scary. Yeah, things are so synchronous that sometimes it can be too much to handle. This path, the practices of the Way of Compassionate Autonomy, will help that journey be a gentle journey through the drumming practices, meditation practices. If you go to Unity&Freedom.org and you find those practices that I've helped facilitate through years and being lost, and I'm still finding my way back. I feel like, I am constantly the one lost soul on this simulation. There's no proof that any other being exists. I'm sharing this information telepathically through years and years of facilitating those practices and being guided through the awakening by teachers that are in human form and otherworldly teachers. And we all have those. They can be angels, they can be guides, they can be extraterrestrial intelligence, they could be fairies, whatever, they could be saints. What are some guides that you like to connect to? Any?
I like to connect to the archangels, and I like to connect to plants.
Nature, grounding in Mother Earth, learning from the animals and the plants. That's all part of it. That's my experience. Infinite pathways to the same place. Calendar is the same thing. It's just, from my experience, it is a transmission of a higher order of complex harmonic information. And as you process this information, you'll be able to experience greater awareness of telepathic connection to higher intelligence beings that just understand harmony at higher levels. And then you are connected in with the noosphere, which is like the collective consciousness of this planet. And then beyond that, more and more and more evolution of information. I only know as far as what I receive and I'm told to share. That's where humility comes first. Humility, forgiveness, compassion, and gratitude. That's a never-ending cycle. You could be grateful for, you go through being humble, forgive yourself, be compassionate, and then be grateful, but then you always have to go back to humility to realize there's something more to learn. That goes alongside, once again, the faith, hope, trust cycle, never-ending. Faith births a light of hope, creates trust, back to faith. But always remaining humble. And guess what? Here we go into the message from the I-Ching, which is, again, why bring in the I-Ching with the Bible and unity and freedom? The yin and yang, unity, freedom, bind and loose. Firmness is like binding. Firmness is like unity. Binding is unity. Flexibility is loose. Flexibility is freedom. Loose is freedom. Overlapping the Bible with the I-Ching, that's just a bridge. Christ is the bridge. Love is the bridge. Right? The infinite pulse is the center bridge. That's the heart. So we're uniting the different paths of religion through the two keys. And as we do that in our daily practice, you go do the embodiment practices, do the meditation, constantly be circulating that mantra, I am safe, I am free, I am safe, I am free. And you'll make it through as the most gentle journey possible. That creates a compassionate being that is ultimately autonomous. But you can't be free without being compassionate. And you'll get more and more mental transmission from the galactic earth mind, or the Tao, as you continue on. And also humble yourself to teachers around you, humble yourself to God, humble yourself to others. Everything is a teacher. But be mindful that some people out there are not true teachers, which can lead into a lot of suffering. The I-Ching says you know that there's truth if everything makes sense with what they're communicating. Now, I myself am very careful about what I communicate, and I was never wanting to communicate anything for a long time. Until they force me to keep communicating, and that is part of my process. So I'm grateful to be able to share this, yet I am also understanding of my limits, and I only know so much, and always hold the mind of a beginner's mind at all times, because that's constantly staying humble. And I'm just here to help Kaylee. Without Kaylee, I wouldn't be alive. And she is the embodiment of the two keys. Gentle, kind, compassionate, loving. That's the most important. It's not about what you know. It's not about it's not about complex information. It's just the most important thing is how you treat yourself and others, whether you're a compassionate being or not. And that's it. That's the most important thing. Doesn't matter how much scientific invention or complex information. It has to go through, for one, the pulse of the heart of Mother Earth in connection with our heart. And if we're not coming from that place of pure love, which is, once again, the voice of harmony, which is compassionate autonomy, that voice of compassion and wanting to do the right thing is the most important thing. If we don't do that with our scientific inventions or anything like that, or with everything that we create, we're already lost. So that's why safety comes first. And if you're safe, and what were you talking about earlier about that feeling of being safe? And like what can that feel like? About actually being afraid of doing something, or being a teacher, or even knowing that you're supposed to share stuff. You remember that? About the feeling of fake it till you make it, or... Yeah,
I was just talking about how, as long as I'm coming from a place of love and genuine care for others, and an honest, genuine love for others, then I don't think you can do wrong.
And that made a huge reminder to me about what's the most important thing, again, is like, even if you don't feel like you're ready to do something or to be a teacher, or the most important thing is to be caring, and caring about others, caring about how other people feel, and actually serving the betterment of other people, not power, fame, and fortune. Those are the temptations that every human has to face. Do as you wish. Choose what you want to do. I'm here as a guide of saying that's going to lead to suffering, no matter how you put it. You can take the two keys and do whatever you want for your own power, fame, and fortune, right? You can take information that's given to you for your own self and your own personal gain. That's the human nature to want to do that. But my suggestion is be careful. And Kaylee was saying, like, how does she know if she's ready to do something? I don't feel like I'm ready to be a teacher or whatever. Well, she even said, the most important thing was to be truly, sincerely compassionate and loving and caring for others. And as long as you follow that, and you're so afraid to move because you want things to be safe outside of you, you want the person to be safe. You truly want to take care of people, right? You always put others first, sometimes to your own detriment. That's a good thing. That is why the first step is safety. That's imprisonment. It's a sense of, I'm imprisoned until I know what the right thing to do is, right? Yet, how do we come out of that imprisonment? Safety. There can never be freedom without the safety. There can never be autonomy without the compassion. So, what is the compassionate thing to do? How do I know that? Well, what's the safe thing to do? How do I create safety around me and safety for others? Even the sense of implementing movement is implementing the freedom, and then you're pulsing the safety and freedom. That's love. And that's how you exist compassionately, meaning you care about what your actions are doing to those around you. And it can feel utterly imprisoning, but be gentle with yourself. We're not here to just be sitting still constantly. We're here to move with compassion. Compassion in action is freedom. Safety in action is freedom. That's quote unquote true freedom. If you have freedom by itself, without compassion, that becomes abandonment of others and yourself. And that's why that freedom lock is abandonment. Well, shall we do a little reading of the I-Ching?
25. Fidelity, in parentheses, no error. So the benefit of the path of fidelity is all a matter of gaining balance and correct orientation. Without balance and correctness, action and strength are not properly regulated and cannot produce good fortune, but instead bring on misfortune.
Thank you. So fidelity is being truthful to something, reproducing the truth as much as possible without interfering or adulterating it, meaning you're not introducing any error into the reproduction of something. So like high fidelity music is when you record the music and it's pure sound, no interferences, no static, nothing. It's called high fidelity. That just means that it's a reproduction of the reality of a situation as much as possible. So, in the terms of safety and freedom, what we were just talking about, if you're sitting still and you want to take action, what's the most important thing?
Before you take action, the most important thing is to feel safe.
To feel safe. And to be what when you take the action?
Compassionate.
Yes. Compassionate for yourself and others. That right in there is basically the gist of that. When you are existing from the space of compassion and compassion in autonomy or safety and freedom balanced within you, you have a good, correct balance within yourself. Therefore, you have a correct sense of orientation, which without balance and correctness, action and strength are not properly regulated, okay, and cannot produce good fortune. So if you don't come through the lens of compassion, first and foremost, safety in action, compassion in action, which is compassionate autonomy, that's safety and freedom, you will bring on misfortune. Like everyone says, it's free to express whatever you want, right? It's all about freedom of expression. Okay, go just express yourself absolutely freely without caring about how you impact others. That is how you can bring upon misfortune for yourself. Whether you believe it or not, the human condition is about balancing freedom of expression that has to come through compassion first. Without being imprisoned, how do you express your truth while staying in harmony with other beings? That's the question. My guidance is to be still. Sit, do the embodiment practices. The mission is not to kill the self. You don't kill yourself because you feel so imprisoned that nothing is worth doing. That's suicide. Trust me, I've been there. And then you don't go to the other extreme where you're not taking any other being into consideration with your expression of your absolute truth. That's just without balance and correctness. Action and strength are not properly regulated. If you are filled with so much energized potential of your experience of reality and you just think you can break through everything, think again. It's about acting in harmony. Any questions about that? Any points that you're going to take away from this?
Just the only question that stood out to me was how can you express your truth while being compassionate with others? Because I know that there's a way, and I've been practicing that through just communication, but I wanted to journal on it more.
Thank you. What's amazing is we're in the magnetic warrior, and that's just question fearlessly. I unify, so we're coming together in order to question. Attracting fearlessness, so that's a fearless question, is to ask from the place of sincerity for the truth. I seal the output of intelligence. You're receiving galactic intelligence of your higher self, and it doesn't matter what you call it, but the voice of harmony is what she's asking for with that. Does that make sense? What was your question?
How do you express your truth while being compassionate with others?
That is a perfect question to ask what harmony means. Phenomenal. With the magnetic tone of purpose, I am guided by my own power doubled. So for the next 13 days, we're on the warrior cycle, which questions fearlessly. And that question is an amazingly awesome question. If we go to the codon that we're completing today, part of, I think, the answer to that has to do with being aware of synchronicities. And seeing how we can blend into and to be in synchronicity with things, right? Like, how do I express my truth in synchronicity with what's happening, in resonance, or with dancing, right? We're just basically expressing like our movements in synchronicity with each other. And that's something that I'm trying to understand even more, you know? And I think maybe the more we awaken to patterns of synchronicity, the more we're just awakening to being in harmony with everything that's around us. And there's nothing truly to be afraid of as you awaken to the even expanded realities and expanded visions and things like that, you know? Come back to I am safe and be still, and then work in the I am free, I am loved, I'm just here to be happy. And that being a part of everyday life as a loving, kind being is the most important thing. And enjoy every step of the journey, no matter how challenging and difficult it gets. Remember, you're not alone. Please feel free to reach out to us at unityfreedom.org. If you have any questions about the practices and the embodiment practices or any of that stuff, please feel free to ask. And we hope you have a magical day in the miracle.